Ladies and gentlemen, please silence your cell phones as our program is about to begin. Please welcome to the stage Vanessa German and Sean Jones.
Now is the time to sit down at your table. Don't eat the chocolate cake, 'cause that's for dessert. But honor your life, start wherever you want. 'Cause like Sean Jones says, chocolate cake is just like breakfast, it has milk and eggs in it. So if you would, I'd like to take a moment to thank some of the people who are putting food on your table today. Now's the time to give them a round of applause. Cause it is nice not to have to get your food yourself sometime, right? Came today to tell you that we love you. And when we say we love you, we're not pretending that that's going to be an easy thing, because chances are it won't be. I mean, we could all go crazy one day, want to just kill each other. But we won't, because we have art. And I believe in the power of art. And if you too believe in the power of art, now's the time to say, I believe in the power of art. I need you to say it a little louder. I believe in the power of art. Say it loud enough so all the banks down the street can hear you. I believe in the power of art. Say it loud enough that Barack Obama in the White House or wherever he is can hear you say, I believe in the power of art. Freedom is the sound of the loud man drunk on the sun. Drunk in the sun. Head tilted back, face to arch to the sky, like he is the saxophone. And Jesus is the Miles to the Davis. And the tune is improvisational, like a Saturday afternoon whistle just walking down the street. Freedom is like I could just run out into the street and scream out for the whole world to hear, everyone is made to dance. so high that even the high rises would rise up and lean into the dance. Like a long woman exercising the pull and the stretch of her rib bones, I would just run out into the street and scream out for the whole world to hear, everyone is made to dance, and I wouldn't take it back. Not a word, not a single verb. I would just let the rhythm come tumbling off my tongue and into the air around my face like a flurry of medicinal birds come to change the air with their flap dance and song. And perhaps all of that would look a little bit crazy. Perhaps all of the normal three-piece suit cell phone talking on people would walk by me confused, but a little bit inspired. And maybe they'd reach out a little bit and they would want to take my hand to dance with me, but they would stop themselves. They would think to themselves in their heads, they would think, who does she think she is? And I would hear that thought in their heads, and I would say out loud, I am you. And I think that you are amazing, really, I do. I think that you are fantastic, truly. You are so fly. I mean, you are infinitely more amazing than anything that could ever be bought in a store. You are dope. Can I have your phone number? Do you want to dance? I believe that instead of going to war, we should dance. We should just gather up the disputing nations, countries, and territories and have them face off in a battle of choreographers, soundscapes, and set design. That way, war would just look like West Side Story. It would be a battle of leaps and lyrics, your artist against ours. There would be no winners, no losers, only soul-shaking, soul-stirring, exhausting performances. It would be your job to make us weep. You'd have to make the ground beneath our feet tremble and shake with the ovation of it. There would be no winners or losers, and then anytime somebody was killed in battle on stage, at the end of the show, they would all just stand up and take a bow. And we would all scream, and we would shout, and we would say, oh my God, when they killed you! I just couldn't take it. And then don't you see, then the world would be so much better. I mean, then there would be no more homophobia in the world because some of the world's best choreographers would be gay, like Jerome Robbins and Alvin Ailey. People would walk around all the time talking about, use your space, people. Use your space. And then gay people everywhere would just be seen as national treasures. And every little third grader with a good idea would be recognized as the visionaries that they are. And then the arts would get more funding in the schools and in the city streets because the National Endowment for the Arts would become the Department of Defense. It makes so much sense when you think about it. So rise as in the sun, get up from whence you was and come on, move forward, put one foot in front of the other and say something nice if you want to. And if you do not feel like saying something nice, then you feel free to just tell the truth. and tell the story, and then re-story the story, and rise.
What an amazing performance by Sean Jones and Vanessa German, two of Pittsburgh's very own and two of my very favorite. Let's join and give them another round of applause. You all look absolutely amazing out there. My name is Frazier. I am the Senior Vice President of Community Affairs for Highmark. And for those of you who may not be familiar with Highmark, Highmark is the Blue Cross Blue Shield provider of healthcare insurance here in our region. But we also are a health provider. So we have a hospital network, the Allegheny Health Network, along with many other types of organizations such as VisionWorks, through the umbrella of United Concordia. So we're a broad company that deals with healthcare across the market as a finance delivery system. Highmark, Blue Cross Blue Shield, is very pleased to be here today to be a sponsor of this wonderful convention, and really want to just reach out to say, in the words of Vanessa German, if I could just change the first word, that we believe in the power of art because we recognize how important it is to the fabric of our communities, and we are so pleased to have the Americans for the Arts Convention right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So thank you so much for coming to join us here in Pittsburgh. Thank you. And we just want to take a moment to really say thank you and congratulations to Bob Lynch and your team on the wonderful work that you all do. What a great experience that we're all having here. Also want to recognize Mitch Swain with GPAC, the Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council, right here, along with one of Highmark's own, Jim Fawcett, who chairs the board. We want to thank you guys for making this happen. This has really enriched our lives and enriched our city, so thank you. This afternoon, I am so pleased and honored that the First Lady of Pennsylvania, Susan Corbett, can be here with us this morning. She has been a real champion of the arts throughout Pennsylvania and truly understands and supports the role the arts play in tourism and in other preservation efforts throughout the state. She is currently the chair of the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, a trustee of the Carnegie Museums of Pittsburgh, and let me just say, as a fellow trustee, thank you for the amazing work that you do there. Thank you so much. And an ex officio member of the Philadelphia Museum of Art Board of Trustees and a commissioner of the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission. As First Lady, she is passionate about promoting the Commonwealth's unique historical and cultural attractions as Pennsylvania's first tourist. She frequently visits and promotes the state's museums, important historical locations, and one-of-a-kind attractions found only here in Pennsylvania. Mrs. Corbett has also begun the Opening Doors initiative aimed at increasing the number of students who graduate from high school on time by focusing on middle school students. Awareness is an important first step to combating the critical issue, and the First Lady hopes that the Opening Doors initiative will aid in that fight. Please join me in recognizing and welcoming a wonderful friend to the arts, Pennsylvania's First Lady, Susan Corbett.
Thank you. And thank you, Evan, for that introduction. The thing I like best about it is that it separated me from those two amazing performers. I would have hated to have gotten up on stage right after them. It's like following an animal act or something. But good afternoon. On behalf of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Governor Tom Corbett, and the Pennsylvania Council on the Arts, I'm so pleased to welcome you to Pittsburgh. And we are delighted that Americans for the Arts chose Pittsburgh as its host city this year. And I want to thank Bob Lynch and the team from the Americans for the Arts for convening this conference. And I especially want to thank Mitch Swain and the Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council for their hard work in attracting and supporting this year's event. I hope that you're having a wonderful time. I think you're going to find that we are a warm, welcoming, and vibrant city, and we are delighted that you will experience firsthand all that we have to offer. Tom and I have actually lived most of our married life here in Pittsburgh, and so I understand that yesterday Mitch asked how many people were new to Pittsburgh or hadn't been here for a while. So I thought I would take you just a couple minutes to share with you some myths about Pittsburgh that you maybe haven't read in any of the materials you were given when you arrived. So there's a few things you should know. If you wander down to Point State Park, maybe you're going to check out the Three Rivers Arts Festival, you want to know that in 1952 there was a B-52 bomber that crashed into the Monongahela River, and it's never been found. Now, that's true because I read it on the internet. Now, if you're planning to travel out into our neighborhoods, some out of downtown and into these wonderful cultural neighborhoods that we have here in Pittsburgh, and you happen to get separated from your group, if you ask a native for directions, you should be aware that you can't get there from here. You actually can get there from here, but Pittsburghers are notoriously bad at giving directions. Usually includes landmarks that no longer exist. But we're friendly, we're warm, we just can't give directions. Now, since you've arrived in Pittsburgh at the time that the Three Rivers Arts Festival is going on, you should also be aware at any given moment you could experience a variety of natural disasters, golf ball-sized hail, torrential downpours, gale force winds, and locusts. Okay, I made up the part about the locusts. There are actually cicadas and, some stink bugs. But I have no explanation for why the weather is so beautiful here right now, because for those of us who know the Three Rivers Arts Festival, it's a given that it's going to be challenging. But finally, and probably the biggest myth, is Pittsburgh is a city of champions because of our domination in sports. And that's true, partially, but Pittsburgh is a city of champions for the arts. We're a mid-sized city with world-class organizations and artists. Our downtown cultural district, it has long been recognized as a national model of how the arts can transform a city. And today, the arts is an economic engine for Pittsburgh and Allegheny County, generating $686 million in direct spending by artists and arts organizations, triggering an additional $484 million in spending by its audiences for a total of $1.17 billion in economic activity that includes jobs, household income, and tax revenue. 20,550 full-time equivalent jobs, making the greater Pittsburgh region number 7 in the nation for job creation through arts and culture. I know that because I read it on the internet. I read it on the Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council website, which, by the way, is an exceptional resource for anyone who's interested in learning about the arts, about arts advocacy, and the importance of arts and culture to this region and in our lives. Pennsylvania is most fortunate to have 2 great arts and culture cities, Philadelphia in the east, Pittsburgh in the west, and you will find artists, arts organizations, and arts lovers in all 67 of our counties. In the current economic climate, Pennsylvania, like most other states, is challenged to provide adequate support for our arts agencies. But I'm pleased to report that in Pennsylvania, after a steady decrease in funding for the arts, 43% in the last few years, during the last 2 years, funding for the arts has remained steady and has increased slightly. Pennsylvania is also a proud supporter of individual artists, with the Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council serving as a regional re-granting institution to support the careers of artists and their many projects for our citizens. We're good, but we can do better. And the Greater Pittsburgh Arts Council, along with the Philadelphia Cultural Alliance and the Citizens for the Arts, are working hard, leading the effort to make that happen in Pennsylvania. And we're making progress. In less than 3 years, we've stopped the steady decrease in funding. We fought against a proposed cut of 70%, and advocacy efforts have helped to create an Arts and Culture Caucus in our legislature. It's bipartisan, and it's the largest caucus with all 4 houses participating. So our message is getting out there. Again, I wish you all a productive and successful conference. We are so pleased that you are joining us here in Pittsburgh, and we hope that you enjoy our beautiful city.
I want to thank Susan Corbett, First Lady here in Pennsylvania, because besides what was said about her and her remarks here, I want to say that I have seen her participate in arts organization events and national conferences all around the country. I met her in Nashville. I see her in the audiences of National Arts Advocacy Day. I've seen her in Harrisburg fighting for the arts. I've seen her here and in a number of other spots. And, you know, when I count the number of leaders, first ladies of administrations around the country that I see in that kind of capacity, I can count them on a couple of fingers. So a round of applause for Susan Corbett, please. I also like to say that Highmark has been a wonderful supporter of this event. And Evan Frazier, thank you so much for being here. And Vanessa and Sean, spectacular. I had a chance to actually do some tunes with Sean last night, and I never want to play again because he was so good. One other thing about Susan Corbett is that she began her career at Northern Lebanon School District, where she taught senior high English. She understands the value of arts education. And arts education is a core program area for Americans for the Arts now and in the future. And to that end, I'm so pleased to announce that we will be working with the President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities and the National Endowment for the Arts on the Turnaround Arts Program, which is a public-private partnership designed to help transform some of the nation's lowest performing schools through comprehensive and integrated arts education. Turnaround tests the hypothesis that high-quality and integrated arts education can be an effective tool to strengthen school reform and school reform efforts, boosting academic achievement and increasing student innovation in schools facing some of the toughest educational challenges in the country. And I've had a chance to talk to the First Lady, had a chance to talk to Bill Strickland and others around the country about working together and harder over the next couple of years to make some really positive change happen. I want to invite Abel Lopez, the chair of the Board of Americans for the Arts, to join me once again on the stage as we present our remaining Field Leadership Awards. And I also invite all of our awardees to take their seats beside the stage. I'm very excited that we have just entered into another cooperative agreement with the National Endowment for the Arts to conduct the local arts agency census. This is the most comprehensive survey of of the local arts agency field ever conducted. And it's how we learn and document your irreplaceable role in sustaining cultural infrastructure, supporting artists and arts organizations, and ensuring access and engagement in the arts. Now, one of the things that I find exciting about this is that it's not surveys, because surveys are sometimes not exciting, but this one is important. Every day we work to advance at Americans for the Arts, local arts agencies, and this helps us serve you better. And we want the rest of the nation to know this. I would add that by better understanding LAAs, the NEA will be better able to establish programs and funding categories that more directly meet the funding needs and opportunities of our field. So this has important policy implications as well. So look for your survey in September. Stop by the NEA table, talk to Michael Killeran, or our own research table for more information. It's important, and I really hope that you will participate. And then one last thing, I'm going to take this moment to say that we at Americans for the Arts have been very fortunate to work with a number of amazing artists, like the turnaround artists that I just mentioned. And recently, we've had the extraordinary opportunity to partner with the Wounded Warrior Program on 2 programs, and that's the Pentagon and Walter Reed Medical Hospital. First, I hope that you all have had the chance to see our recent Nancy Hanks lecture with Yo-Yo Ma. Seen it online if you weren't there in the audience. And it's available on YouTube and has already had almost 20,000 views. During that program, Yo-Yo included some powerful artists who were musicians who had been wounded warriors, and through the Walter Reed program participated with him. And you can see firsthand how incredible their work can be. Second, later that week we hosted a summit on arts and well-being across the military continuum at the Walter Reed Military Medical Center. And we're excited to see the military recognize the impact that the arts can have on their soldiers, both in the field and when they return. And I know many of you have bases near or in your communities, and hope that this work is opening the doors for meaningful and valuable partnerships. So we look forward to working with all of you on all of those fronts. Thank you, and Abel Lopez.
Thanks, Bob. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, and I'm pleased to join you in presenting our last 4 awards. As a reminder, each of our awardees were nominated by a colleague in the field and selected to receive these awards by committees composed of members of our field elected leadership councils, board members, and other high-level leaders. These awards truly reflect exemplary leadership in our field. It is my pleasure to present first the Alene Valkanas State Advocacy Award, which honors an individual at the state level whose arts advocacy efforts have dramatically affected the political landscape. The recipient of the 2013 Alene Valkanas State Advocacy Award is Tom Usrey. Tommy is the president and CEO of the Northeast Louisiana Arts Council in West Monroe, Louisiana. He has deep and wide-ranging roots in Louisiana. He knows his people. He knows their personalities, their history, their families, their talents, their social networks, their communities, and probably most of their secrets. He has an instinctive ability to bring people, political opportunities, and resources to get things done and move forward. There is no one better at using those kinds of skills and personal and professional connections in the best possible way to grow and strengthen the arts, starting from the ground up. The Louisiana Citizens for the Arts and Louisiana Partnership for the Arts reflect his influence and effectiveness in gaining financial resources for the arts and in branding Louisiana as a unique creative place. Tommy follows in Alene's footsteps as a believer in the power of the art to change lives and to change communities for the better. So on behalf of the Americans for the Arts Board of Directors and our State Arts Action Network, I would like to welcome Tommy Usrey to the stage to accept this award. It is also my pleasure to present the Arts Education Award, which honors transformational leadership in either in-school or out-of-school arts education through strong program design, execution, and partnership programs. The recipient of the 2013 Arts Education Award is John Hinojosa, Artistic and Executive Director of SEIC in San Antonio, Texas. For the past 19 years, John has served as the Artistic and Executive Director of SEIC, a nationally recognized model of community-based arts education program for urban high school and middle school students. The program began with 8 students and now serves 185 youth on-site and 4,000 in community programming. SEIC has 5 distinct multidisciplinary arts programs that are tuition-free, year-round, long-term, and focus on mentoring and reciprocal learning as a core foundation. John has helped to orchestrate the organization's growth, including the completion of a $2.5 million project to convert a 26,000 square foot warehouse into a state-of-the-art community center. John's commitment and passion for the work has made him highly respected in the local, regional, and national arts education community. So on behalf of Americans for the Arts, the Board of Directors, and our Arts Education Network, I would like to welcome John Hinojosa to the stage for this award.
Okay.
It's now my pleasure to present the Michael Newton Award, which honors an individual, staff member, or volunteer in recognition of his or her innovation in developing private sector partnerships for the arts and/or long-term achievement in effective and creative fundraising techniques. The recipient of the 2013 Michael Newton Award is Barbara Sexton Smith, President and CEO of the Fund for the Arts in Louisville, Kentucky. Barbara believes in the democratization of support for the arts. She has brought this belief to reality through her persistent focus on deepening workplace campaign support to the Fund for the Arts. Under Barbara's leadership, the percentage of total dollars raised from employee campaigns has increased by 25%. Currently, the workplace campaign comprises nearly 1/2 of the total dollars raised in the annual campaign. Over the past 25 years, she has raised more than $208 million for the Fund for the Arts and organizations such as Metro United Way, Olmsted Parks Conservancy, and West Louisville Boys and Girls Choir. Recognizing the need to prepare the next generation of arts leaders and volunteers, Barbara created a program called NEXT, which prepares the next generation of arts and cultural volunteers with a focus on strong corporate citizenship. And throughout the program's 2-year commitment, NEXT members attend monthly educational sessions about fundraising and professional development, as well as receive tickets to special arts performances. Perhaps the most interesting aspect of the program is the ability for NEXT members to participate in the fund's allocation process. NEXT is also a great example of an innovative partnership with the private sector. Most of the NEXT members are also employed within the private sector and serve as ambassadors within their organizations during the employee workplace giving campaigns. Barbara is a force of nature in the truest sense. When we did our conference, our marketing conference in Louisville, she was at every turn helping, and she's somebody who never misses a detail. She called ahead to ask what the color scheme was here, and you'll see why in a second. No, she didn't really, but she's pretty good at that stuff. On behalf of the Americans for the Arts Board of Directors and our United Arts Funds and private sector networks, I would like to welcome Barbara Sexton Smith to the stage to accept this award. We're going to get our picture taken over here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I want to congratulate all the awardees. It's an amazing group of people, hard workers. I get to see a lot of them on the sites where they actually work. So one more round of applause for all of our awardees today. Oh, but not all of them have received their award yet. So with that, there is one more award, and actually I had the opportunity to myself do some presenting for this award, so in my head it's already been given. But it's my pleasure to be part of the presentation of the 2013 American Express Emerging Leaders Award. And to help, I asked Tim McClyman, Americans for the Arts board member and president of the American Express Foundation, to join me on stage. We had the opportunity at the Emerging Leaders Conference to talk about our next awardee, and now we get the opportunity to talk about him in front of all of you. But Tim McClyman.
Okay, I thought I was out of a job there for a second. I could go home. Thank you, Bob. The American Express Emerging Leaders Award recognizes visionary leadership by an individual who is a new and/or young arts leader that demonstrates an ability to engage and impact his or her community. The recipient of the 2013 American Express Emerging Leaders Award is Abe Flores, Advocacy Field Manager for Arts for LA in Los Angeles, California. Hey, Abe. I have more to say, though. Abe organizes and liaisons with arts education advocacy teams throughout Los Angeles County. In creating networks of arts advocates, Abe's work has increased the local capacity to effectively advocate for the retention of arts programs and infrastructure. He works on the ground in 13 unique districts and neighborhoods throughout Los Angeles County and has developed a unique perspective on what works when it comes to cultivating parent and community advocacy. He has been able to train over 300 people to work as arts education advocates on behalf of their school districts. Over the past year, Abe developed and piloted a new model for fostering advocacy that works to first evaluate a community's resources and population, then makes connections with local arts organizations and leaders, and finally convenes these stakeholders into a uniquely designed group that leverages their strengths and helps improve their weaknesses. Because of this process, Arts for LA is now able to better understand the steps for developing more effective advocacy teams, and you can see the success already taking place. As a musician, first-generation college graduate, and father, Abe understands the benefits of arts education. He has been able to synthesize his personal experiences with powerful advocacy messages, effectively pulling his audience into the conversation and empowering community members to be strong arts education advocates and to make a difference. So on behalf of Americans for the Arts Board of Directors, the American Express Foundation, and the Emerging Leaders Network, I would like to welcome Abe Flores to the stage to accept his award. Congratulations, Abe. Congratulations.
So now, please congratulate all of our awardees. Please enjoy conversation and lunch, and we'll be back to start our town hall program at 1 p.m., and we will be broadcasting live at convention.artsusa.org. Enjoy conversation.